All right, the final IB exams are right around the corner, so let's get you set up with the ultimate 6-week study plan. This is how you get ready for some serious success. So if you're feeling that mix of stress and being totally overwhelmed and just the huge weight of it all, trust me, you are definitely not alone. It's just that time of year. But here's the good news. Having a solid plan can change absolutely everything. And it's exactly what we're going to do today. This is not about studying harder, it's about studying smarter. We're going to put together a strategic, sustainable plan that actually works with the way your brain is designed to learn. So let's get into the blueprints. This is how we're going to turn that feeling of, oh my gosh, I have no idea where to even start, into a super clear, actionable strategy. And it all comes down to just 4 simple, totally manageable steps. That's it. Just 4 steps to take back control of your revision and your sanity. So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to map out every single exam. Second, we'll pick our daily focus blocks. Third, we're going to prioritize the papers that matter most. And finally, number 4, we'll reserve those all-important flex days. Okay, let's dive in. The very, very first thing you've got to do is get everything that's swimming around in your head out onto a calendar or just a piece of paper. Seriously, this step is all about creating clarity. It gets rid of that mental mess of trying to remember every single date. So, grab your schedule. I want you to list every single subject you're taking. Then, for each of those subjects, write down the individual papers. Paper 1, paper 2, etc. Pop the exam date right next to each one. And here's the key. Organize the whole list by date, starting with whatever is coming up first. This gives you a perfect bird's eye view of the entire exam season. Okay, now that we know what we're studying for, we need to figure out when to study. And this is not about cramming every single free minute of your day. Nope. It's about being really smart with your energy. Now check this out. What's so cool about this is how it lines up your tasks with your natural energy levels. I mean, think about it, right? Most of us have the most brain power, the most mental fuel in the morning. So that's the perfect time to tackle your hardest subject. Then in the afternoon, when your energy kind of naturally dips, you switch to something lighter, like review. And then in the evening, you can really zero in on something more structured, like running through some past papers. And get this, you do not need to study for 8 hours straight. It's all about quality, not quantity. Just aim for 2 focused blocks a day, maybe 45 to 60 minutes each. And please, I'm serious, take real breaks in between. That downtime is actually when your brain does the heavy lifting, cementing everything you just learned into your long-term memory. A break isn't wasting time. It's a crucial part of the learning process. All right, step 3. This is where we get really strategic. See, not all of your exam papers are created equal when it comes to your final grade, so your study time shouldn't be equal either. And this chart shows that perfectly. For a lot of IB subjects, papers 2 and 3 are worth way more than paper 1. So when you're deciding where to spend your precious time, it just makes sense to give more of your energy to those higher weight papers. It's all about getting the biggest bang for your buck study-wise. And now for our final step. And honestly, this might be the most important one for making this whole plan actually work. We have to build in a buffer. We call this a flex day, and you can think of it as your secret weapon. It's 1 day a week that you intentionally leave completely blank. Why? Well, because life happens, right? Some topics are going to be harder than you thought. You will need a break. This day is your safety net. It's there to let you catch up, or to dive deeper into a weak spot, or, and listen, this is just as important, to completely shut off and just recharge. Okay, so we have our blueprint, but a plan is only as good as your ability to stick with it without totally burning out. So let's talk about the mindset you need to actually make this work. Just look at this slide. It basically shows the 2 paths you can take. The burnout path? That's just staring at a timer, passively rereading your notes, and scheduling every single minute of your life. The balanced path is so much smarter. The key takeaway here is to focus on completing tasks, not just watching the clock. Use checklists, practice active recall instead of just reading, and always leave yourself some room for flexibility. So, building the plan, that's the first half of the battle. The second half is actually doing it. And the good news is you don't have to do it all by yourself. So you're probably wondering, okay, this sounds great, but how do I actually put all this into practice and stay on track? Well, we've got you covered. Think of this as your personal support network. The Study IB app has tools built specifically to help you plan out all your revision. And if you're looking for support from other students, or tips, or just a place to ask questions, our Discord community is an amazing place to be. And there you have it. A clear, four-step blueprint to take complete control of your IB exam revision. The plan is here, it's ready to go, so the only question left is, are you ready to put it into action? You can absolutely do this.